Peace and blessings. Campaign Trail Live. Tuesday, September 17th. Y'all see the headlines. Y'all see the distraction. Y'all see the headlines. May as well get into it live. Get into it early. May as well tap in early. May as well expose it early. What do y'all think? Do y'all think they, when I say they, I mean the such and such controlled legal system and media, the people that have the most influence and control and lobbying power over the government and the legal system and over the media, will they go after and convict Diddy's freak off participants instead of Epstein's island participants? Because we didn't see him go after nobody in Epstein's island's participants. Matter of fact, Epstein's mansion and house and island and all kind of stuff, if I'm not mistaken, was destroyed or sold, or same thing that they did with the Twin Towers. Same thing they did with all that metal and all that material, that evidence at the Twin Towers. They didn't have it tested. They just hurried up and shipped it off to whatever, and they never heard from it, nothing about it again. So will they go after and convict Diddy's freak off participants, people on his list, on his videos or whatever, instead of how they did Epstein's? Is that what we doing? Of course that's what we doing. Elmatic, salute. Hit the like button. Elmatic in the building with the wrench. Walaikum salam, back to work, back at it. Gotta ask the question. Diddy versus Epstein. We seen how they didn't do Epstein, and allegedly Epstein deleted himself, allegedly billionaire or alleged multi-billionaire of the such and such persuasion. So I personally have never believed that Epstein is deleted. I believe that Epstein had some BBL surgery done to his face, and he's living out the rest of his life among his powerful, peers and people that he was doing all his his Epstein Island's business with, dealings with kings and rulers and prime ministers and presidents. And so I personally, this is my personal belief. I have no way of proving it, but I just know people of that type of influence and money and have that type of evidence and resources. Yeah, I don't believe Epstein is not alive. I believe Epstein is alive with a new face and a new identity. He had the money to do that. It's like we go to Mexico or get a BBL and you look like a whole totally different person. So they can do that to a person's face, especially if you got that kind of money and connections. But the people that Epstein had on his black book list, all of them clients, you ain't seen not one of them get indicted or charged or let alone convicted. We ain't heard nothing from none of them, right? Watch the difference you're gonna see with Diddy's freak off participants that especially are black. Watch all of the top black rappers, actors, athletes, singers, producers, even politicians, even lawyers, judge, whoever, if they black and they got a high profile name and they was freaking with Diddy, if they was going to Diddy parties, I think TD Jakes was supposed to be at Diddy parties. Watch this sacrificial black lamb show that you about to see. Watch all of the top black sheep that was getting fat, that was being fattened up, that didn't realize they was being fattened up for a certain day, a certain feast, a certain slaughter. Keep your eyes open, get your popcorn, because what they didn't do to Jeff Epstein's clients, they're gonna definitely do with Diddy's clients or freak off participants. So it's going all the way up and all the way down. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to us, we already see what they're doing, and they doing it at the same time. You know what they doing with Trump. You know, I'm not for Trump. I'm not for Harris. But I do see, I do have eyes, I do have ears, I do have a brain, and I can ask intelligent, thought provoking, reasonable questions. Like, which camp really causes more harm to women and babies? To women, if this is supposed to be an outrage against women, like you got Diddy doing this against women and babies, what was Epstein's camp and his organization and his movement known for doing? Was it just Epstein? Was it just the island, Epstein Island, or was it a whole state, in Palestine right now that's going through, you know, atrocities, committing atrocities allegedly? Is there any activity, Epstein type activity going on there that we all know about? Which camp actually causes more harm to women and babies? Is it Diddy's camp? Is it Diddy's camp, or is it Epstein and Weinstein and Netanyahu's camp? But which camp controls the media? Which camp has ownership and power over politicians and presidents and policy and media? Which one? Is that a fair question? Is that unfair? Does that have anything to do with a man trying to be deleted twice in 60 days? I'm talking about the orange man trying to be deleted twice in 60 days. Does he have any intentions on airing people out, when it comes to that subject? Because people were saying, yeah, he was friends with such and such, or did I think he heard, I think I heard him say he never been to Epstein Island or whatever, but just something to look at, since everybody is rolling over on everybody, since everybody is on some Godfather trying to delete the families, and so it's all out mayhem. It's Satan casting out Satan. So let's see. We know who the pawns of Satan is. We know who the minions and the instruments of Satan is, but let's see what the Satans got to say. Let's see what the Satans got to say. Why they don't want to hear what the top Satans have to say against the other Satans? Yeah, we're gonna focus on the little ninjas, focus on the little minions, focus on the little ghouls of Deacon Frost and all that, but let's see what the big dogs got to say about it. Pac-Man, salute. Miss 702, spiritual court, criminal court. Yeah, did he, allegedly, Miss 702, if you wasn't one of them, you say that he hurt a lot of people. Really? I mean, I wasn't there, but that's what we're here to find out. But if we got bombarded 4 years ago and for the last 4 years ago with this whole concept of lesser of two evils, well, we got to go with the lesser of two evils. We got to go with the less. So you forced us to vote and say vote or die for somebody that forced us to put something in our bodies, in our bloodstreams, that we didn't know what the effects was or whatever. That was the lesser of two evil concept, remember? So are we not doing the lesser of two evils no more when it comes to everything else? When it comes to Diddy and Epstein and Weinstein and Netanyahu, and we're not doing that no more? It don't matter when a black person do it. You know what I mean? Is that what we doing as black women? So that we just throw that whole law and thing out the window if it's a black woman that's mad at Diddy or whatever. But we're not mad at the people that's pushing us to delete our unborn babies by 500,000 per year. We're not mad at her. You know what I'm saying? Not mad at that. Which camp? You know, if we're gonna talk that politics, I'm not here to talk that, but if we're gonna talk that, which camp clearly got the greatest track record in history of harming women and children, women and babies, whether it's women and unborn babies or women and babies that's already born? Which camp? Which camp is, one of them been called fake news? Which candidate has always been talking about is fake news, fake news, fake news, and so whatever. But we're not doing lesser of two evils no more, right? We're not doing that no more. El Malik Shabazz, Satan makes his victim 7 times the child of hell as himself. I don't know what that means, but Daryl Jackson, their wickedness pales in comparison to what Diddy allegedly did, right? And if Diddy has tapes, have they confiscated the tapes and made sure they erased the Steens and the Bergs and only left the black participants, or only left the participants that they want us to see? Is that too far-fetched? Is the CIA and the FBI not capable of sanitizing the Diddy videos and only letting, are they not capable of doing that? Are we going to just believe that they're the gospel, they're Jesus and the apostles, and everything they say is 100% full truth and nothing but the truth? Is that what we believe in? So that's what we're here to find out. Will they go after and convict Diddy, his freak off participants, those participants? You know what they're going to try to do with him, but they're not getting him just to get him alone. These people don't operate like that. If they attacking one big sheep, one big black sheep, if they slaughtering one big black sheep, guess what time it is? Guess what time it is for the rest? Guess what time it is for the rest? Once they sacrifice somebody, some assets of theirs that's that high profile and that big, guess what time it is for the rest? We didn't seen the pattern for the last few years. We didn't seen the R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson. Started with Mike Tyson. We seen Tupac. We didn't seen it, right? Prince. We didn't seen it. So is this just an isolated event, or are they about to bust the whole pinata, the whole black sheep slaughter pinata? You know what I mean? Because if they're doing it against Trump, why wouldn't they do it against every fat black sheep, you know what I'm saying, that they've been fattening up? If they're going to do it against Trump, why wouldn't they do it against every ninja, you know what I mean, to distract us from the whole Satan, casting out Satan war with Big Brother behind the scenes, meaning Trump and the Zionists, if that's who that is? Why wouldn't they pull out all the stops and dump all the fuel? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't they? If it's up at this level, if it's all the way up to this level, then why wouldn't they? Why would we think they're gonna play fair and not come after every one of these black, especially black male fat sheep that they fattened up, and use black women to do it? Use black women as the prosecuting attorneys against their own black men. You don't think that deal, that unholy alliance between Eve and the serpent, also exists at the end of the book in Revelations, where you got another woman, you know what I'm saying? This is just metaphorically speaking, that they trying to get rid of because she about to give birth. And now the serpent is a big dragon. So why is it always a partnership between the snake and the woman? going against a particular man or going against a particular woman that's going to give birth to a certain kind of new man that's going to rule and destroy the wicked serpents people and the Jezebel sellout women that was partnering up with them. Jamila Burns, walaikum salam. So, what's y'all thoughts? What's y'all thoughts on how they gonna go after these people? Are they gonna go after Diddy's people the same way they went after Epstein's people? Do y'all think they're gonna go after Diddy people with the same timid, off the record, well, we're not really pushing too hard. Only one we gonna deal with is Ghislaine or whatever her name is. That's it, huh? All of these children in Hollywood that's screaming and complaining about what Disney did to them and Hollywood did to them. And all of them is allegedly 5150s, you know what I'm saying, mental illness, lying, drug addicts. All of them is just lying and tripping, right? We don't need to hear from their stories. We don't need to follow up on all these child stars, the Justin Biebers and everybody in Disney, all of this damn Disney. We ain't saying no Disney, we saying no Diddy. Why are we saying no Diddy, but we not saying no Disney? No Epstein, no Weinstein, no Hollywood. Why is that? No Netanyahu. You know what I'm saying? No BB. And that whole harboring state, that whole state that Candace Owens was exposing before they silenced her off of YouTube. And it was no lies told. She didn't get canceled for saying that stuff. She got canceled or struck out because of something Kanye said in her living room about something. But the parts that we talking about right now is facts. It's provable. It's facts. She didn't get canceled for that. That wasn't what was allegedly anti such and such or violating such and such guidelines or whatever. That was facts. So what are y'all's thoughts? How are they going to go after these people? How are they going to go after Diddy's people compared to how they didn't go after Epstein's people or Weinstein's people, Oprah and all of them? All the people hugging on Weinstein. Oh, I love him. I love him. You love him. So, get your popcorn. Get your popcorn and your snacks. Get you a pillow because it's going up. It's going down. Squab cooks always make the brothers the face of depravity while the others get off. Right? The founding fathers were far more guilty. The founding fathers was literally, traffickers in every sense of the word. The founding fathers was traffickers, but they're heroes. They have statues, they faces on the money, they're saints. They're required reading, we're forced to learn about them and respect them in history. But there are traffickers. They did to us what Epstein and Weinstein and Disney and Hollywood and allegedly Diddy did to us. They did that to us for 400 years, right? So why they ain't getting indicted? Why they not getting demonized and villainized and exposed and renounced? I mean, why it got to take us to do it? Founding fathers. Wasn't they the dregs? Wasn't they the criminals of England? Wasn't they the trash of England that got kicked out? Wasn't they the criminals? I mean, that's what I learned in history? Well, that history ain't true no more, or what? So just keep your eyes open on how they gonna go after Diddy's participants, his freak off clientele. Are they gonna go after Diddy's freak off clientele and they're gonna single out the blacks? They're gonna single out the our people, and we never heard nothing. We seen that whole lot client list of Epstein Island. We seen it. It involved presidents and prime ministers of different countries, rulers, CEOs, everything, preachers, all of that. We ain't heard no more from it. We ain't heard no more about it. All we heard is Epstein allegedly self-deleted himself when the cameras got took off. The cameras was turned off, and next thing you know, he allegedly deleted himself. We had all seen the movie Face Off in Hollywood, and so we know that this dude got a multi-billionaire, and he got all this evidence and influence and relationships with kings and rulers and princes and presidents and prime ministers. He ain't finna delete himself. That dude this is my personal opinion. He's chilling on a whole other island doing the same thing with a new face, with a face-off face, with a BBL face. But Diddy won't be so lucky. R. Kelly won't be so lucky. Bill Cosby won't be so lucky. Michael Jackson won't be so lucky. Prince won't be so lucky. Mike Tyson won't be so lucky. Tupac won't be so lucky. Let you have any kind of accusation, whether it's a true accusation or a false accusation, you getting strung up, buddy. You're going to get strung up, and you're going to get publicly humiliated. You're going to have your character thoroughly assassinated, whether it was true or not, whether it's false accusation or not. Your career is going to be ruined. Your name is going to be smeared. Your finances is going to be drained. You know what I mean? It's called crucifixion. This is called crucifixion of the body of Christ. Christ was original people. Christ wasn't European. And we are the body of the crucified Christ, and we're still being crucified. Yeah, I mean. So, and we all sit back like the coward apostles or the Romans or whoever and let it happen. But blessed be the ones that take the crucifixion and hold on to their faith, because we get a crown at the end. We win in the end, but it's a bitter cup to watch your people just turn you over and sell you out and call for the thief to be released, and they want you to stay up there because the truth coming out your mouth is too much. It's too convicting. It convicts them. So they didn't have no crime against Jesus other than he was a man that told them the truth that they hated. So that was his crime. He said he was a son of God, and he told the truth that they couldn't disprove. And then they had false witnesses, and they had Judas. He had a Judas. It's all kind of little different angles and teams of enemies that's gonna come at us. So we knew what we signed up for when we signed up for it. Salute. Right, MCT, Eminem will be so lucky, right? Illmatic, like trading places, like gonna trade places. Looking good, Epstein. Feeling good, Weinstein. They chilling on the island with new faces and new identities. Looking good, Jeff. Feeling good, Harvey. Cold business. David Latte, how many record labels are going to be around when that chitlins hit the fan? When the chitlins hit the fan, I mean, they know that. They don't. I mean, it's all a smoke and mirrors, dog and pony, horse and pony, whatever show. This is to distract us so they can put their last little pieces in place for their new world order flip. It's really in place. All of this is really just to herd us into the new ovens, you know. Herd these real children, lost sheep in the house of such and such into the new metaphorical ovens, Pied Pipering us into the fire with them. Distract us, keep us partying, keep us drunk, keep us high, keep us freak offing and Epsteining, keep us doing everything to keep our eyes off of them, the ones that were really responsible for putting us through the hell that we've been in. And then once they see us waking up, then okay, let's go bring in 20 or more million migrants that don't know what's going on. It's not the migrants' fault. The migrants is just looking for a better life because these same snakes ravaged their countries and reduced their countries to third world countries or bombed them back into the Stone Age. You know what I'm saying? So they happy just to be able to survive and come over here. So it ain't like they got something against us necessarily, but it's just like the mafia or the Italians, you know what I'm saying, that migrated or immigrated to New York or immigrated over here. They was mobsters, right? Then they became senators and governors and presidents and politicians, right? Lawmakers. Ain't that how the history go? But it's all acceptable if it's Europeans that's doing it. But if it's the original black chosen people, descendants of slaves that's doing it, no, we have to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. We got to make an example out of you. You're an animal, you're a monster, you're a criminal. You know what I'm saying? You're the worst kind of human being. You're the scum of the earth. But we're the founding father heroes when we do it. We're the founding father heroes, the conquistadors, you know what I'm saying, when we do it. It's manifest destiny when we do it. But when you do it, you're the black, you know, scourge, plague of the earth. CLI, peace. Daryl Jackson, the media doesn't mention the wickedness of all those folks and a host of others. Yeah, I mean, that's what they allegedly, that's what the alleged charges are. If you ask the actual victims, the people that saying they're victims. So the people the children that are victims of them, they don't get no airtime. They don't get no Harvey Levin and TMZ airtime. They don't get no front page headline news to tell their story. No, they're just troubled youth on drugs and they're crazy or whatever. But no, they calling out names. They calling out names. But if you got an accusation of a child that say Michael Jackson did something to him, then that's mainstream headline news everywhere. But then you got the actual people, the actual children of all different races that's saying these specific people who run Hollywood, who run Disney, who run all of this, did this to me and does this to us, then it's radio silence. It's crickets. So we know what it is. We all know what it is. So I just wanted to, hop on here and see if y'all saw what I see and what do y'all think? How are they gonna come after Diddy's freak off participants compared to how they didn't come after Epstein Island's freak off participants? That makes sense, right? Smash the like button, hit the like button, like, subscribe, follow me on West Coast Cam, also my West Coast Cam page. Follow me on that YouTube page also. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find this. Because I be meaning to hang on one sec to promote this. not what we wanted. Man, how do I get? Oh, there we go. There we go. Copy. So yeah, man, y'all follow me on this page because I'm about to reactivate it also. My West Coast Cam YouTube page. Daryl Jackson, I'm waiting for Gloria Allred to represent the alleged victims. Absolutely, of course. You know, if you know Diddy got billions, they know he got not billions or whatever he got now, millions, maybe hundreds of a couple of hundred but they're busy draining that swamp because they the ones helped him get it. The lawyers, the agents, the accountants, the business partners, everybody know exactly how much he got and know exactly how much that they can drain from him before they drain his existence on this planet. So we already know the playbook. And especially if you're guilty, then you really ain't got uh no win whatsoever. So it's just we so cowardly and we have become so soft and spoiled by these people that we did these deals with and allowed them to fatten us up and didn't realize it was going to be a day that they was going to slaughter us and sacrifice us. So we're cowards. We don't really know how to just air them out. Like, you know what I'm saying? On some kamikaze, like, man, I see you already taking me out, so I may as well flip and tell everything I know because they still trying to hold on to their life as though them being quiet and silent and playing ball and going along with the legal system thinking that they're going to get justice. It's the same legal system that twisted you in the first place, same legal system that made you fat and the multi-millionaire is the one now that's going to twist you and bleed you up and turn you upside down and eat you for Thanksgiving or for what they celebrate. Well, I ain't gonna go there. Them other holidays of the other faith. You gonna be you know meat for them. You on their dinner table now. So you may as well say what you know. You may as well. I mean, that would be my advice, but I'm not the best advisor. You might be getting some better advice from somebody way wiser than me about what you're supposed to do at this point. But if we've been putting our life on the line and our livelihood and our families on the line by exposing these people, and we ain't had no fraction of the luxury and money and fame and resources and benefits that they had, and we willing to call them out, then hey, he who seeks to save his life in that day will lose it, right? And he who's willing to lose his life for my sake will find eternal life. So the choice is yours. You believe in God, you believe in the Bible, and you scared to call out these Revelation 3:9 and Revelation 2:9 people, then that's on you. That's on you. But we ain't got that problem because we came out the blocks, poor, airing them out, making war with them, exposing them, calling their name. So, it is what it is over here. Miss 702, he knew it was coming. He's smart. I bet he has things in order for his loved ones. How's that smart? If he was smart, he wouldn't be doing it in the first place, right? So, I mean, I guess, relatively speaking, that he's smart as in wickedness or in weakness. If he knew he had them type of addictions and vices, he was smart enough to do what? Because if I'm not mistaken, his sons got arrested also. So his loved ones, how can he have things in order for his loved ones if his loved ones is arrested with him? Right. So I mean it's it always come down to it, man. It's not that I hate to say it, but it's gonna always come down to good and evil. It's gonna come down to God and devil. man, whoever we believe that to be, those are the main characters, man. Because if we're doing evil, are we doing evil naturally? Are we doing evil because we got extorted or blackmailed? Are we doing evil because we got deceived? Or what? Because evil was done to us, we got violated as a child, and it just destroyed us and turned us into victimizers. Hurt people, hurt people. It's gonna come down to a God devil issue, like good and evil. Why was evil created? Why was it allowed? Like, it's always gonna come down to that. I don't, that's why I try not to waste my time just swinging around on the branches and leaves and looking at the fruits and the symptoms and the effects. I always go after the cause, because that's where you're gonna find the cure. It's impossible, as far as I know, scientifically, it's impossible to cure anything if you don't know the cause of it, right? Am I wrong? Is there anything that is cured or curable that we don't know the cause? So anybody that's scared to address the cause or the causers, you really ain't interested in the cure. You really a coward. If you're gonna complain and accuse, but you're not accusing the causers then you're a coward. You're actually working for them. You're actually doing what everybody else is doing. This 702, how do people think that they will get away forever? Nothing lasts forever. Yeah, no, we don't think we're gonna get away forever. We just think we're gonna get away for our lifetime. Our lifetime is forever as far as we're concerned. So if the average human being only lives to be 70 years old or 75 or whatever, that's what we looking at. Okay, well, I'm just gonna party on out till I check out. We don't know nothing about no life or heaven or hell after we die. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us is not believing in that. So it's not about nothing lasting forever. If I'm already a victim, if I've already been violated as a child, then all bets are off. I don't believe in what you believe in. I don't value what you value. I don't see life the way you see it, because whoever this God is allowed that abomination, whatever, to happen to me when I was helpless and young and innocent. So that is the question of why we have to question God. Like, why would you create a devil? Why would you allow this for so long? Why me? Why us? Why? That's the best question anybody could ever ask. Why? But then you got people that hypnotize you or terrify you or whatever, paralyze you in the name of religion, that say that you're not supposed to question God. You're not supposed to question God. What? Then how the hell will you ever learn from God or about God if you can't question God? If you praying, so you're not questioning God when you praying? God said, my people is destroyed for the lack of knowledge. So we can't question God about the knowledge of why the hell devil exists and why pain exists and why this was allowed to happen to me when I was little. Like, come on. That's proof that we have been mentally terrorized and mentally paralyzed by somebody. If we scared to even ask questions, we scared to even point out the cause, whether the cause is God or whether the cause is a devil that God used or allowed to be here, we still got to point out the cause and ask why. Why? If I can't ask why, then yeah, that's why people so wild and don't give a F about no laws or no rules or no morals or nothing, because you taught them we couldn't even ask God why. Then F everything, F it all. Nigga. What? And y'all is outnumbering us, and y'all are teachers and preachers and politicians that's swearing in on the Bible. So y'all all reinforcing this mental paralysis, this mental prison, that I can't ask no questions. I'm the victim here. I can't question my victimizers. Like, man, please. So that's why, we're a new generation of free thinkers. It don't mean that we think we're supposed to be free of the laws of nature. A free thinker don't mean they're trying to be free of the laws of nature. No, we're just free, courageous thinkers that can critically think, that can reason and use logic and ain't scared to call it out, ain't scared to use our sword, double-edged sword of truth to cut down whatever fake, false, coward lies and liars that need to be cut down, or expose who need to be exposed. That's why free speech is so dangerous, because in the time where people are waking up and seeing who the real enemies are, then you can't afford free speech, not on no mass level. You can't afford free speech. You have to enact censorship or cancel or silence them. You can't let them talk free speech, because it's the word. In the beginning was the word. The word is going to destroy them. The word is going to start the process of destruction of the wicked, just with words. That's how powerful words are. That's why they control media and literature. Words, they control the words. But now, thanks to Steve Jobs, I think, rest in peace, white man Steve Jobs, for creating this internet, or helping to develop it to where we can, have social media and communicate by the millions and billions with each other directly. Then they can't control that type of word. But they have to control the words on their particular platforms. But then that's out of control. So now they have to do some other things like poisoning the people, or something that's going to distract us physically and attack our health. So we can't focus on getting together and getting our word together and focusing our word and then our actions against the causers of our problems. They got to bring in distraction, bring in other people, you know what I'm saying, as unwitting soldiers against the masses here that are waking up and using their voice and using their brain and using their logic and reason to expose the real enemy. So they got to call in new troops and make them fight against us. That's what all this is. This whole distraction, diversion is because we're pointing them out now. We're calling out their name. Farrakhan was the lone voice in the wilderness for decades, since the late 70s, early 80s. He was the only one calling them out, because he came to the aid of his brother, Jesse Jackson, the first black person, well, he ain't the first, but I think he was the first black person that was running for president that we know of in our lifetime. And the same people that came against Candace Owens and came against all of us if we say the wrong thing, if we expose their wickedness, they called him anti such and such. And Minister Farrakhan said, y'all better not touch him. So he used the FOI. He wasn't paid. We don't believe in voting for nobody, but we was supporting our brother back then, Jesse Jackson. And Jesse Jackson made a verbal slip or misstep when he called them something town with an H, slimy or something town in New York, and they ate him up. And Minister Farrakhan came to his defense verbally, and he wasn't intending to get into nothing with them, but that fulfilled the book of Jesus, his greatest enemies, which was the scribes and the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and you know who they are. And then Revelations 2:9 and Revelations 3:9. So that's how I've been going. So he was the lone voice in the wilderness for decades, until now, when the general population of us is waking up. Even people that used to work for them, like Candace Owens, she literally was a black woman tool and weapon and instrument for them, and she says this out her own mouth. I was a soldier for the Zionists. You know what I'm saying? I never, that's who I worked for. That's who I rode for. But she ran into whatever she ran into when she was working at the Daily Wire under Ben Shapiro. And whatever happened, she said, or she ran into some journalistic information that she wanted to report on, or whatever the case is, and things didn't go her way, and they got rid of her. So it was a personal. She might have had personal, selfish reasons for becoming an activist, and but hey, it takes whatever it takes. Most of us that's activists against whatever. It could be cancer, against mothers against drunk driving, it could be against gang violence. It's because we suffered something personally. It took us to be hurt or affected personally before we became an activist for everybody. So it don't matter what motivates us to become an activist. Yeah, mostly is selfish reasons. Okay, but that's what it takes, and God knows that's what it takes. So now I'm riding against this whole thing, period. And then, I become a voice and an inspiration for other people that's victims of these same people. So it is what it is. That's how movements get started. That's how God works. Starts with one person that wasn't trying to be no activist or no leader, and they just responded to something that happened to them personally, and people resonated with it, and the movement got started. Right. So, but now, he made it so doable. We saw that we wouldn't be destroyed. It wasn't an automatic deletion sentence if we speak out against them. We saw Farrakhan do it, and we saw Farrakhan remaining successful and growing, and what I'm saying, getting stronger and wiser and living through all these attacks. So, we can go against the beast. We can expose Satan without them, you know, burning our communities down, or deleting us and all that. So we needed it. We needed an example. So he been the example. So now we're growing those little Farrakhan testicles, to be big like his is, or ovaries to be big like his is, representing God, not representing politics, not representing even a race, but representing God. That's what Candace Owens was on, right? She was on Christ is King, Christ is King. She not pushing black like that. You see who she married to. It don't matter what you push, are you aiming at the right enemy? You know what I'm saying? We can deal with what we represent after we get rid of Goliath. Let's knock Goliath's head off, and then we can sort out all the rest of that stuff. So same with Kanye or Ye. He was a Christian. He was telling, well, I'm new to this. I'm, Christ is King. I believe in Jesus, but I'm still doing my little uh Kim Kardashian my little prawn lifestyles. So nobody said you had to be perfect and holy to make war with the beast. So now that they see us doing all of this and focusing and identifying and naming and exposing a specific group of people and the specific individuals in that group, then they got to do their full court press with media and resources and laws, and they got to activate all their instruments, all their weaponry to come against us. So that's what this immigration stuff is. That's what this campaign stuff is. Because like it or not, the enemy of our enemy is temporarily our ally. The main people that the industry, not the industry, the mainstream media, the main people or person that the mainstream media demonizes and wants you to hate are the people that you probably need to not hate. You need to look deeper into why, the cause of why they want you to hate them so much. Why? Like I said, which group, which camp causes and has caused more harm to women and children and babies out of these two political camps? One of them said grab him by the pee, right? Was that the deal breaker? He said grab him by the pee. He's a misogynist or he's whatever. Maybe he is, but I'm just saying, if we was going by that whole scale of lesser of two evils, why that don't apply today? Why did y'all force that down our throats 4 years ago, and we can't force it down your throats today? because we got hindsight. We can see which ones actually cause the most harm. We can see which ones is pushing for 500,000 deletions of black babies every year. We can see which ones is pushing for, surgically or medically altering or removing our children's reproductive organs and reproductive identity. We can see which camp is doing that. We can see which camp is not pushing for, same gender relations or intimacies or whatever, and not trying to make that legal and not trying to give them the rights that they owe black people. We can see that. Or can we? Or can't we? So which ones, who put this battery in our backs? This extreme steroid negative emotional battery against this particular guy. You didn't get that from nowhere but the media. You didn't get these feelings from nowhere but the media. Who is the media? Is the media the ones that made us cry and say that our suffering, the Holocaust suffering was the worst, that brought up, anytime something goes on, they bring up Hitler, like they don't bring up the founding fathers or King Leopold. Like they don't care about people that wiped out 10 times or 20 times more of our people. It's Hitler. Why is it Hitler? Why is Hitler like supposed to be that guy that you don't want to be like? But it's not Thomas Jefferson or George Washington. It's not none of the people that did what they did to us by the millions for the last 400 years straight. Why is that? Why do we get so emotionally outraged and activated when they say that we should get outraged and activated? And they're the architects of what happened to us. Oh, no, don't say that. It's proven and provable that they're the architects and the people that owned us, that sold us, that exploited and commercialized and dehumanized us, that promoted us as 3/5 of a human being, or a little feeble-minded Sambos and little Jezebels or little tarts. Hollywood images came from who? Who created Hollywood, and who presented us to the world like this? So, I'd rather go down, whether my career got to go down, or my life, or my health, or whatever. I'd rather go down making war against the beast, like the wicked beast, against the Goliath. So if there is any type of reward for my children, for my people, or for my soul, I will have qualified for it because I put mine on the line. I wasn't a coward. And I wasn't claiming I was riding for myself. I was riding for my people that's no longer here, or that's too cowardly, or that can't speak for themselves, or the unborn children, or the children that have been deleted because our women and girls or whatever been deceived by these arch deceivers. I'm more than happy to spend my life and go out for this cause. I don't know about y'all. I can't speak for y'all. You don't have to be black to have this type of, testicles, or this type of understanding. Any race, any gender, any ethnicity can do the same thing and be just as effective, just as important, just as immortal, just as valuable, but they not choosing to do it. So I can't worry about what they not doing or what they not gonna do. I got to do what I think I came here to do. I got to do what I think my predetermined purpose was to do here. So, hey, man, it is what it is. It is what it is. So, Neo Law, what type of question is that? Did you ever like the diddler? So I'm just highlighting that because I'm just interested in the question based on what you just heard me saying, and I don't know if you ever seen me on a live or whatever. Um, what would me liking anybody have to do with anything? I don't know him. I met Diddy before, right? But you calling him the diddler. Did you ever like him? Like him as what? Like him as an artist? What do you mean? Like him as a black man, a fellow descendant of slaves? What do you mean? So I like to highlight, certain type of comments because whatever I'm saying is going to cause a reaction. It's going to cause triggers. It's going to cause trolls. It's going to cause different spirits to activate certain things, right? So sometimes most times people's questions give you the answer. People's questions let you know what they are, where they are, who they are. So if you know me, Neo Law, and you said you follow, you know of me and you follow my page, or if you follow, I tell everybody, especially if they're male. I don't know if you're a male or you're a black male or what. I tell everybody, don't ever ask a man how he feels, right? So I don't, I'm not into feeling like, do I like somebody, or ask me a specific question, what I'm saying, based on facts. Don't ask me my feelings. If y'all don't mind, hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. Neo Law. I'm a black man. Yeah, well, never ask a black man or another man, but especially a black man, about feelings. Do you like somebody, or what I'm saying? Well, be specific. Why would I like him? Like him about what? Do I like his music? Do I like his policies? Do I like his charity? What are you talking about? Be specific. Be responsible. Like, what I'm saying? So that's all I'm trying to teach responsible communication, or be an example of responsible use of words, right? Daryl Jackson, can we talk about September 17th, 1985? Yeah, we can talk about that real briefly the next couple of minutes. I'm gonna get off of here at an hour. September 17th, today is the 39th anniversary of physical spiritual experience of Minister Farrakhan that he had in 1985, where he was um, taken in out of body experience to what the Bible calls Ezekiel's wheel, or also calls the chariot, or pillar of fire by day and a cloud by night of God or Jehovah, the so-called UFO mothership that so many governments above top secret talk about. He was taken to this wheel, this mothership wheel, and was communicated to by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, his teacher and the leader of the Nation of Islam, whom the world thinks or thought was dead, thought would died in 1975. But just as the Bible and the Quran say about the Messiah, he was made to appear to the people as dead, but he was not died. They killed him not. For certain, they killed him not. But Allah or God raised him, exalted him to himself to be with him. And at that time, according to the Bible, he made Moses a god. First, he was a messenger, and the Bible calls a prophet, but he was a messenger. But once he elevated him to himself, then he made him a god to Pharaoh. And then he made his little brother, who he left among the people, in his absence. He made him his prophet. He made Aaron Moses' prophet. He made Moses a god, made Moses into a god, and made Aaron into Moses' this new God's prophet to communicate with us among the people. So in 1985, September 17th, 1985, this experience happened, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad revealed to Farrakhan specific plans of the President of the United States and the Joint Chiefs of Staff that they had planned. They met together and planned a war. And the war at that time was against a small Muslim nation and a small Muslim leader, which was Muammar Gaddafi and the nation of Libya, the African nation of Libya. And the other small Muslim nation and leader was against Farrakhan himself and the Nation of Islam and Black youth of America. So after that, he was told, or during that experience and that communication, he was told to hold a press conference in Washington, D.C. and make known to the world what communication he got on this wheel, and that he got it from Elijah Muhammad on the wheel. And Minister Farrakhan didn't do that until 4 years later. So on October 24th, 1989, he held that press conference in Washington, D.C. and fulfilled those instructions. So all of the guidance that the Nation of Islam has been following and been successful and guided by way of Farrakhan since the 80s, since 1985, has come directly from that experience, that communication that Farrakhan had with his teacher, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, on this wheel, on this Ezekiel's wheel, big UFO that y'all say we crazy about. That experience has guided and protected and made successful Farrakhan and this whole Nation of Islam. So, of course, that's so controversial, for one, saying that we believe that he's still alive, but then, we believe that he's alive on one of these UFOs that the governments of the world know exists, but they are lying to the people, saying that it's aliens or interdimensional demons or beings or, and that's all a lie. That's why it's called above top secret. And so much of it is being leaked out now that they can't say that it's aliens. They have to say it's a new Harvard study now that just came out this year saying that they're from here. They're not from outer space. They're from here. They're probably interdimensional people, but they're from here. No, they're not interdimensional people from somewhere. They're the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's people. They're Master Father Muhammad, who is the architect and designer and engineer and maker of them, of these particular ones. And the purpose of this wheel is the greatest weapon of war ever created, the greatest war machine technology ever created. So it controls life and death. It controls it has the power of life and death of anybody or anything on this planet. So there's new vegetation, there's perfected water, perfected vegetation, fruits, foods, DNA of animals and all of that. That's the quote unquote Noah's Ark. With two of every kind, male and female of every species, purified and perfected, is on that wheel. And the weapons of destruction for this world is on that wheel. So if this Satan, these scientists, these gods of evil, Satan's, that's all Satan is scientists, God scientists of evil, of wickedness, like Fauci and people like that produce weapons of mass destruction and viral weapons and diseases and bombs and all of that. They use their wisdom of science for wickedness. But if they are able and have been able, and we've demonstrated that they are able to produce such weapons, whether it's nuclear, whether it's viral or whatever, that causes such mass destruction of human life, then the God also is going to implement said type weapons to them, against them. And we're seeing a little bit of that. And the pandemic was a little taste of that. You know, he took what they was already doing and used it against them. So as far as this UFO business, the Roswell crash in 1947, all of that was intentional. That was not them shooting down some alien spaceship. That was Master Fard Muhammad sending down, not just to New Mexico and not just to America, but he sent down little wheels or little flying saucers of his make, his technology, down to these people, the Europeans, or to this race, to this people, to give them a boost in technology so that they could hurry up and make the weapons of war and fulfill the prophecies that they were supposed to fulfill. The war with each other and the war to think that they can make war with him. So he sent down this technology to them and allowed them to study it and back engineer, you know, as much of it as they could, which was not much at all. But he gave them a peek into his wisdom and into the heavens, and they are checkmated. These wheels, these little wheels, are over every single military installation on the planet, especially the ones with nuclear warheads. Any nuclear site, hidden or unhidden, they know where they are. And they have already demonstrated that they can disarm them and shut them down, or turn them on and they can't turn them off, meaning cause a panic and make, you know, launch weapons that they don't want to be launched. So that's what this is about. And since it's 107, I've been on here an hour and 7 minutes. I'm gonna get off of here on that, and hopefully I answer those questions. This is the campaign trail, and I'll be back on, God willing, later this evening. Peace.